Get set. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I have a very special announcement, and that is that Marion and I are bringing our Drought Proof, Your Retirement podcast to all of our wonderful students and our members. And we are going to kind of put them on the spot. They've had about 30 seconds notice to join us. And thanks to Linda, we are all here. She got the yay or nay vote. So one thing that Marion and I have both experienced this week is traveling. We both work from home and we have both had to travel for various reasons. My mother was in the hospital and Marion has gone on vacation. And what was very odd was that when I got to the hospital, I realized I did not have my earbuds. And so it was extremely difficult for me to do any work, especially live, in the hospital because I would have disturbed the patients. So when I was talking to Marion, she also described that she had forgotten something, and I will let her tell you that. So I just thought, what a great concept for us to come together and kind of put together maybe like a little laptop lifestyle checklist, if you will. So many of us, it's basically a dream. It is a dream to have a like laptop lifestyle and to be able to work from anywhere, from abroad, you name it, you go. That is most of our dreams. So why not talk about that, what you may need, what you do need, what you just would like, and see kind of where that takes us. So that's kind of the premise of our podcast. And with that, Marion, would you like to kick us off?
Sure. Yeah, I had my mind was blown when I looked in my laptop case and I did not find my laptop charger. I looked in every hole, I unzipped everything. I've got lots of little things in here, but no charger. And my laptop it only lasts for about 30 minutes without being charged, without having that plug. And I have a very special laptop that only you can only get the charger on Amazon now. They don't make it anymore. I don't know why, because it's a newer laptop, but because of the special, little hole that it goes in, it was just a special one. And they don't
Yeah,
carry it, you can't go to Walmart, you can't go to wherever they sell stuff like that anymore. They didn't have it.
no. 30 minutes would not be enough for you. You can barely even say hello in 30 minutes. So that's definitely not going to work for you.
No, so I'm that's on my list, or we're making a checklist and everybody's coming up with their ideas of what you need on this trip list. I guess we
Yes,
call
and
it
if
trip
you are
list.
watching this later, you can just comment below with what you think. You can just comment below with what you think is a great addition to our list, and we will then update it. So I think we should have Linda go next because she is the star of the show. She's the one that said, "Yay, we can do this." Yeah. So, Linda, do you have any thoughts? Well, first of all, have you ever worked like on the road, or have you ever had to take an emergency vacation and wished you could?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time working, just trying to keep life together from hospital bedside. And that makes you a big believer in having chargers and earphones with you in every bag that you own at all times. And kind of an extension of that was a portable battery pack. One of the famous name brands is Mophie, Mophie, but there are many. And this is my phone. The Mophie is probably almost the same length as my phone and a little bit thicker than my phone. And I get 2 full recharges out of that. And it has saved my bacon so many times.
Wow,
So
I love
I
that.
would happily add that to our list.
Love it. Absolutely. That's perfect. And you said it was what, how do you spell that?
Mophie is the brand
Okay.
I have.
Okay, perfect. Love it. All right, I jotted that down. Thank you so much. Let's see. Rita Joy, do you have any thoughts?
Yes, reading glasses.
Oh,
So many times I'm stuck and I have pairs everywhere. I buy them at the dollar store. Just I always have reading glasses, but when you're caught without them and you need them, so reading glasses.
yeah, I could definitely imagine when you have your laptop and you can't see, there is no amount of work that's going to be getting done.
Right.
Love it. So you could just keep an extra set in your laptop case.
Good idea.
There you go. That's great. Thank you. I love that one. Gail, what do you got for us? Have you ever had to work on the road before?
Yes. When
Oh,
I was
okay.
opening up an airline, I had to go all over the country and I needed to have my laptop. And I have to tell you, I never forgot anything because it was my job. So I just had to have my checklist. And it was like, you do the Macarena, you got your computer, you got your keys, you got your glasses, you got your, so every morning I would do the Macarena, try to remember if I got everything. And, but yeah, I did. And I did need to, and I never forgot anything. And
Oh,
even
I love
sometimes
that.
I had 2 pairs of glasses on my head.
You
That's
had
how
too much stuff.
I'm getting older now because now I can't find my glasses and I find that I have 2 on top of me. So
Oh,
I'm
I love it.
prepared.
Love it. All right. I see Lauren over there giggling. Lauren, do you have something to add?
You want to bring your best friend for one, but what really is, because I have done numerous workshops and such, and the computer to hook up to their digital stuff is utmost for your slides. So for some reason, I couldn't hook up with my computer. And so I was going to be like dead in the water. So what I did is I bring my little thumb drive. I back it up with everything that I have. Every time I go, I drop it in my purse, which is separate from my computer in case something happened to my computer. I can plug my thumb drive into their computer. And that's what I did. It saved the day. It was just kind of like almost seamless. But it is utmost important when you need a separate backup, and it's such a little tiny little thing. So that is my recommendation. Yay, thumb drives.
Absolutely. And I don't have my keys with me, but I have a thumb drive that is about as big as you can get. And it is this tiny and it's on a little keychain. So I keep it right on my key. So I always have it. That is such a great idea. Okay. Christian, do you want to go next? But let's unmute.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. Yes, yes.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
I like to bring a tripod. This is an example of one. However, smaller is even better sometimes. A lot of times I like to video or take pictures, or, I don't like to have to try to hold the phone if I'm doing a selfie video or something like that. So just having a tripod is very useful when I'm out and about. I like to do B-roll, so I might be in a park or at the beach or something. It's a laptop lifestyle, so I'm always ready to film or record something that I can use in marketing later on. So I'm going to New Orleans pretty soon to see my.
Where's
See,
that
if you
tripod?
don't have a tripod,
I don't have my
tripod.
I'm telling you guys the
Christian,
tripod,
check it
and I'm
out.
not using it.
I love it. I love it.
But anyway,
That is
that's
such a
why you
great
need a
idea.
tripod.
Exactly. That is such a great idea. And so many of us do the concept of the B-roll. And when we're out, just having the tripod. Now, my husband, he has, it's almost like you hold it and then the phone goes out here. And then no matter where you go, it follows you. It's some technical thing. It's really cool. And so we have done charity events where we have to walk the track or things like that. So he'll take that with him. And then no matter what he does. You know, if he's going here, there, the other, it just follows him. So, and you actually, enjoy, both of you guys do a lot of stuff outside. So
Yeah, right.
having that stability and having that tripod is crucial. And I think it would
Yes.
just serve you, you know, traveling no matter what. So that's a beautiful one.
Yes,
Thank
I like to
you.
get the information on the one that Jim uses too. That sounds like
Yes.
something
Okay.
we could utilize.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't know where it's at right now, but I'll find it and I'll send it to you, and I'll make a post about it too because he loves it. All right, James. How about you?
Hello?
And now
Hello,
I
hello,
know
hello.
for sure that you work on the road because you are
Yeah.
literally in your car right now.
Literally in the car right now.
Right.
And it's always a good idea, especially to be able to pull over and you have some thoughts or something like that to come to your mind. As entrepreneurs, our minds are constantly working all the time. We're always listening to people, finding ways to solve issues and problems for folks and all that as well. So it's always good to have a trusty notebook and a pen with you all the time so you can write down something so you don't forget in that moment when you get those ideas in your head. So you always want to write down some notes or something like that. So that's something I always usually keep with me all the time.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I think that's everybody. Gail, did you go? You're raising your hand.
I did go, but I remembered saying cell phone earlier, and I think it's
Mhm.
important because even if all else fails and you have to communicate, and you could even do a video or whatever on your cell phone. But even with James saying that, you can, while you're driving, if you think of, because our brains are always working, we're very creative people, and that's why we are in the creative content crusaders
Creative
crew.
Content Crusaders.
And-
Love it.
Thank you.
I love
And
it.
and you make on your phone, you've got your microphone, and you can leave a message, on your, microphone, and little audio saying, remember, you make a note for yourself. So you
Exactly.
don't lose any of your ideas. Even while you're driving, you can do that. I mean, you're not like, because you'd be so used to it, you're still paying attention. I'm not trying to
Exactly.
make anybody unsafe.
No,
It's just
no.
like,
It's such a
but
great idea to utilize the audio and the note system. One of the things that I found myself doing a while ago, before I kind of thought, okay, I need to get better, is I would text my husband or instant message my husband any note that I had, and I'll be like, this is for me later. And he was like, finally, like, what are you doing? Like, just make a note for yourself. And I'm like, well, and so I did learn about the audio that my phone will do and the notes. And so that was super helpful. That was a great tip. Uh,
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you guys doing this little experiment. One of the things that I think we kind of hit on was more of a technology side. And while that's the most important thing, obviously, I wonder if anybody has any, and this is just off the fly, if you do, any tips for working while you are traveling. Like for me, when I was with my mother, I wanted to make sure that I still took breaks. I still had time for my mom, that I still, didn't overdo myself. So that was like kind of something that I wanted to relate, is even though you're working away, you still have to take time to care about yourself by having a schedule, or even having like maybe a little mini office or something set up somewhere. I don't know if that's possible. So that was just my thought. Anybody off the cuff have any tips for working while you're traveling? Lauren, let's hear it.
What I would recommend is that we keep our mind focused and we're breathing properly, but we're also keeping in mind that this is all a grand scheme. We want to be focusing what is the good part of this challenge that we're going through. As we're traveling, what's the good part? What's it teaching us? What are we learning?
Absolutely. Love
great
it.
idea. And I would say also, I used to fly a lot, right? Always, since I've been 16 years old, I've been flying other countries, all over our country, flying, love to be in the air. If I had my way, I'd be a bird. But I remember I could actually think, and I loved it. I would read, but your thoughts like when you're flying in the air and you see all the grand, just the whole earth, right? And you see the potential that is in front of you, your mind just goes crazy. Like, what can I possibly do? Like, everything open for me. So I used to think and write notes, and I never really wrote to people when I was in the air, but it was so creative for me, and I wanted to capture it, and I love every minute of flying. So I would say it's a great thought. It helps you think when you're traveling, because you're alone most of the time, or you're with other people, but you're learning new things from new people you've never met before, will never see again, and they pour their heart out to you because they know they're never going to see you again. So their deepest, darkest secrets are coming out, and it's fabulous. So
Right.
I'm just saying, it's really, really fun for me to travel. I love, but I'm kind of grounded now, but thank goodness I have you guys all over the country, and I love having this podcast. You guys are amazing. All my little family. I gotta come to-
Well, we love you too. And I do
Thank
love
you,
that.
Jen.
When you're out traveling, find a little space. And maybe the air isn't your thing, but find a little space like the beach or a park, and maybe take your notebook and just journal for 30 minutes. Because creativity comes from that change of pace or that change of scenery. That's a great idea.
Absolutely.
All
James had
right.
his hand up.
Oh, James, let's hear. What do you have?
Yeah, just being able to take a minute for, like you said, for yourself, just that quiet time. Sometimes just sit and take the time to just think and just let your thoughts flow, let your mind be quiet for a while. Because as I said before, our minds are always running. So if there's a chance we can just slow it down for a short period of time, we become more creative in that aspect, in my opinion.
I love it. I love it. And that's what this business is all about. We are all creative. We are creating content. We are creating memories. We are creating for other people all the time. And it's definitely important. Marian, let's hear what you have to say, and then you can wrap it up for us. I think we have just had a great powwow about this. So, Marian, let's hear your final thoughts. And then if you want to wrap us up, I'd love it.
Okay, well, I do have one final technical thing that I had to do this because without my mouse and the little doohickey that goes into your computer and the little mouse pad, I don't think I could survive, because that little pad that goes on the laptop, it doesn't do me any good. Okay, none. I can't figure
You
it
need to
out.
buy a Mac. Buy a Mac. Tip
No.
today.
No, don't know.
I agree with you. I love a mouse. Gotta have it.
Gotta have a mouse. I love
Mouse.
Yep, that's my thing, is a mouse. So thank you, everybody,
have
for
a Mac,
coming
you
to our
never go back.
podcast. We love it. We love our group. We love meeting every week. We want to thank Paul Hutchins one more time, because every single week we are here because he challenged us. He challenged us to go live. He challenged us to pour our hearts out there and be real every chance we could get, to commit to something. So some people committed to every day, and some people like us, we committed to once a week. That's enough for me, once a week. But I love the challenge, and we're sticking to it no matter what. So that's why you're here today witnessing our group, because time was running out, and we just said, hey, you guys want to come with us? And they said yes. So thank you. We love it. So thanks again for everybody showing up in your car, at your house, wherever you happen to. I appreciate you. I know that Christy appreciates you. And
So much.
thank you. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Something. Yeah, no, was it Linda that talked about having an extra power supply or something like
Yes.
that? Linda, was that you? Now
Yeah, it
here's a
was.
prime example of something that I keep with myself. This is something that's solar powered as well. And it also has Wi-Fi on the back. Even though this is slow, they probably have newer models that probably has a little faster charging. But this is something that I keep with me all the time. It has all the different ports in here that you can, I don't know if you can see it, But if
Do
you
you
open
need to
it
go to
up,
the bathroom? You
Well,
okay?
what's it
got different
called?
ports. This one,
What's it
this
called?
model here is from iStar, but it's just a, I guess it's a solar powered charger. I guess that's what this would be called. It's a wireless charger, and you can get them at Walmart or places like that, or you can get them obviously. You can probably get them on. You can buy it online anywhere at any one of the places. Amazon.
Amazon.
All
Yeah,
right.
you can probably buy it at any one of those places. So just wanted to give you
Beautiful.
that little.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
for
love
that.
that it's solar. That's great.
Yeah, the sun's always shining somewhere.
Thank you so
Not
much,
here. I got
James.
up
Thank you.
today. It was 64 degrees.
Well, you needed to get cooled off.
I did. Phew.
So hot in Texas.
We had the mobile car dealer come out today, and he took like 5 hours to clean the car because he kept on taking breaks and getting cool. And my husband finally went out there. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, poor
He's like,
guy.
"It's hot."
Did you tell him about the alligators? Because he would have been a lot faster if you told him about that.
I think he probably knows about them.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
Alligator
Yeah.
Alley and all. Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
is what it is around here.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for doing that. That was fun. We'll have to do it again sometime. Maybe give you more notice than 30 seconds. I don't know.
We did pretty dang good for 30-second notice, I think. We're
Uh-huh.
just like a bunch of wizards.
Coming up with a
We're
list like
something.
that.
Or something.
There's something.
I could suggest one other thing. I didn't want to break in on the podcast with it, but it's something for us to keep in mind. Like if you're going to be working in a coffee shop, maybe have an account with some brand of VPN, virtual private network, so that people with packet sniffers and other kinds of technology can't be capturing anything about you, who you are, your passwords, your credit card numbers, your account number logins, all those things. So it's some if we're really going to be laptop lifestyle running our business from anywhere, that could become something wise to look into.
Love it.
I'm glad
Perfect.
you mentioned that. It did happen to me. I was at the hotel and my warning came up and said, anybody that this is not password protected, anybody that could see what you're doing and they could hear what you're saying, they can get anything from you. So if I were you, I would, close it up. So I did. I didn't even open my laptop. That's probably why I didn't notice that I didn't have my charger with me until I got to my daughter's. So if I had a virtual private network, I guess that would cure that. Is that true? I know Christy did some investigating on that.
What was the question? If
The
yeah,
virtual
so
private
that's
network.
yeah. So basically, that just means that from your laptop to your internet connection is encrypted and can't be data breached. That's probably the very basic example. Linda, you might have some more technical thoughts on it, but that's the basics of it.
Yeah, I think that's the net effect, is that your data is kind of protected in that way. And I think like technology nerds would probably find out that your data is like routed through other processing centers or data ports or whatever to help further mask you. And one of the odd little fringe benefits of that is that like you could route it, let's say through Spain, and you could pick up like Netflix for people in Spain or Netflix for people in Great Britain or whatever, depending on how you route where it goes. But I mean, that's only if you groove on that kind of thing.
Well, an alternate of that, or whatever I'm trying to say, is that, for instance, my husband, when he worked overseas, when he worked in Korea, for an example, he wasn't allowed to go to Amazon. Like, they have their own separate Korean Amazon. So he would have to use a VPN in order to use United States Amazon. It just that's just the way the computer worked. So as you're saying, you could get to these other places. It would also help you to get to the places you needed. So
Yeah.
that's a very good point.
How
And
much does it cost?
I don't know. I sometimes VPNs will like be kind of embedded on a new laptop when you get one, and then you can decide if you want to get it. Cal Newport has one that he uses and is a sponsor of his podcast, but I don't remember any names. Another kind of a cool thing that you could use it for is if you were studying a foreign language and wanted to get really fluent, you could like tap into programming or news or whatever from a country that speaks that language, and basically have immersion for learning the language and seeing if you can understand the rapid fire natural language that they're doing, and you could get more competent at understanding that language.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's a great idea.
I just heard Google, I don't know if it was a commercial they had or something, but they talked about the privacy that they have naturally inside their, when you have Google and you're using Google on your computer, they talked about not having to worry or something about, because they got you covered, or they got you, it was this big selling point, I guess, or feature. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, but I don't know how much I would trust that, but they, if it's just a selling thing, but they did seem to say that they have their own security, that they feel that you were being protected more than if you didn't have Google, I guess. Oh, so I just heard that. But.
Yeah.
I was thinking back to the cartoons we watched when we were kids. Was that like Boris and Natasha? And she would say, "Trust me, darling."
Yeah, right. Right. I think that was the voice that Google used. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's great.
That's hysterical.
Yes, it is.
Oh, good
Oh,
memory.
Go ahead, James.
I was saying that was a good memory. We had such a good childhood. We had cartoons like that.
And then we have great Saturday morning. We live for Saturday morning, not for Friday. Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, Christy, do we have anybody that put in
Questions?
questions or
Let me
Yeah.
check it out. Let me check it out.
okay. All right. Anybody
Oh,
have
yes.
anything specific they want to work on today or talk about?
I think for the first time in my life, I am so confused at what to do first. I found myself yesterday almost in a breakdown mode. I was like, I didn't know what to do. Honestly, there's so much in my head with the course I'm trying to put together, all the new stuff with ChatGPT and Medium and Loom and Discord, and I'm like, what do I do first? I was almost like, I wasn't going to throw the computer out the window. It's just that my brain and my heart weren't connecting, and I was like, I felt like a total failure because I haven't made any steps in anything. Well, I've made steps in everything, but I haven't, there's no completion there. I'm
Right.
like all over the place. And I really, for the first time, felt like I had no control and I needed a coach.
Aw. Well, I can
So I'm
tell
like-
you something that has helped me tremendously. I can't say that I'm necessarily a coach on it or I could teach it, but I have worked through the process, and that is to start at the end. What is your end goal? Do you know?
Well, I know what my end goal is. Yeah, is my course. I want to get my course out because it's kind of like a signature thing for me about personalities, right? My book is about
Okay.
personality. It's all about
Okay.
purpose and personality.
So your ultimate goal in life, your ultimate goal in business is to sell your course.
Yeah, because it kind of like it can be a lot of branches from there. Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking a lot of branches. So branches is not the end goal. Branches means that's the beginning goal, right?
Yeah, like if I was gonna be doing a mind map, I guess the course would be in the middle. And then I would have, probably I'll write another book regarding that. And, have my podcast regarding that, and just have everything branch out from that course. Because it's about personalities and it's about what each personality, what they're good at, how you can identify your own, how you can help learn about other people through visual, or and equate it to lots of different things. So it's a
Okay,
core stuff.
so selling, so again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can tell you the steps that I went through. So end goal, then what do you need to do to, what do you need to do to get to that goal? Like what is keeping you from selling that course?
I guess I think I know the steps. I think I know what I have to do, but I've, watched other coaches and courses and they say what you have to do, but I haven't really done all of the steps. I'm trying to create things in Canva.
So
And
like
then
a flyer, or what are you creating
no,
in
the course,
Canva?
the course
Okay,
in Canva.
so are you saying that one of the things that's holding you up is creating the course?
No, I have a lot of material. The creating part, I guess that the distractions, like, so if I am on a call with you guys and I'm learning something, or I'm also taking other, courses and stuff that come by me, it's like, oh, that sounds good. Sounds like something I'm going to need, then, or something I could use now or in the future, then I get sidetracked and then I really want to learn that. But and I kind of open it up and I log in and I check it out. And then I never really focus on one thing until it's finished. And so I've got all of my brain all over the place. And then I'll go back to my course. And so, it's just, I just feel like I need time, maybe stamping or blocking, or, I don't know. And I guess what, is this helping anybody else besides me? Because if you guys are all beautiful and all set, then I don't have to take time to do this. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Gail, you're the only one that's a hot mess. The rest of us have it all figured out.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Good. Okay.
And
I'm
so
waiting,
That's right.
Yeah, right.
I was just gonna say, that has exhausted the amount of knowledge I have on the situation, and I'm going to now ask Marion to kindly fill in the gaps that I have.
Well, I love that you have brought that up, Gail, because I hear from the peanut gallery that all of us, we've all been through that already, so we have the knowledge. Yeah. I think we all have that issue, and I think what we did today by making a checklist would help everybody with what we're doing. So we probably all been through Mary Morrissey's type of programs, all the different places that you can go and take these courses that tell you how to do it. And really what she's saying, what Christy is saying is, you do have to know your end result, because if you don't know where you want to end up, you're never going to get there, right? So I think I wouldn't maybe not necessarily call it a checklist, but a list of things that you need to accomplish. So I'll give you an example. When Christy and I work, we work best when we have a list. Let's see what we need to get done today. So let's say we start our morning and Christy says, okay, what do we need to do today? And so I get out my trusty pad and I say to do, and I start listing out the end result and what we need to do to get there. So I'll say to Christy, you need to make 3 graphics. You need to make one for this and one for that and one for this. And she'll go, okay. And so she writes that on her to-do list. And then she'll say, I need you to write a post about, something this week. And if you're going to write a post about something, I need to know what it is so I can create a graphic for that. So anyway, I think if you don't have a partner like that you can work with, you could do that with just about anybody, or even by yourself. You could say to yourself, okay, what am I working on? So it may be a course this 6 months block, you know, you talked about a block. In this 6 months, I want to finish my course, because didn't we do this, Gail, when we were working on our book? So before you got here, Linda, we all worked on a book that we could give away. And it was about, we started with a PLR book, and we all redid it and put our own spin on it, and asked Emerson and Chat GPT to help us with words and all kinds of different things. And it was really great. We all got our book done because we had a focus, right? And we helped each other if we got stuck somewhere. So as a group, if everybody's working on something, then that's easier. But if you're working on, not everybody here is working on a course scale, so you can't like say, okay, you know, what are we doing today to get our course done? But you could work with a partner, or, you know, like I know that Glenn is not here, but she was working on helping people get a partnership.
Accountability.
Accountability partnership. And if you still don't have somebody, I think you could do it by yourself. You could ask Emerson or Chat GPT for a list of things that you need to accomplish to get a course up on, where do courses go? Up on your membership site, or there's places where you can sell it. I can't think of the name of them right now.
Like Teachable,
Yeah,
Teachable's
like,
one,
yeah, there you go.
Udemy.
There you go.
Udemy.
Udemy. Thank you.
You don't make
but
as much money, I don't think there, but
I think I just want to put it, you know, on LinkedIn and Facebook where people can, you know,
And on your
you-
website.
right, in my website.
mhm.
You know, I went back to Canva because I was going to do a part of my book, just like make a mini book or a little PDF of information. And I couldn't remember how we uploaded the book. So I also, maybe we, in the back office, I can go back and look at our, you know, some of our videos, or, you know, our recordings, but I don't know what day it was, or if it was titled, you know, so.
Oh, Gail, I'm so glad you said that, because Lauren is about to publish her book, and she did it in Word, and she's going to be putting it up on Canva.
Oh.
And once you have it on Word or Canva, either one, doesn't matter, you could turn that into a PDF. And I think that's the step you're looking for.
Yeah, I didn't know where to go. I thought I did, and then I was lost when I got into Canva. But yeah, so yeah, I guess maybe there's a way, maybe I should go in the Facebook group at some point sometimes and just say, hey, can somebody help me out with, you know, blah blah blah, a quick little thing, and if somebody can, you know, we can connect and communicate, and maybe just give me a little nudge of start here, you know, okay, great, got it. So
Or submit a
that's a good-
question on our website. You can always do that, because Christy and I look at that, even if it's not our day to come, you know, come to you guys
Okay.
and you know. So we have
and
the HBA Facebook, and we have our Facebook, and we have our submit a question, and then we meet twice a week here, and we are going to start the first Saturday of each month to do a
That's
get together. So I think there's always going to be time when you can get help.
Well, you guys are my tribe, and I feel better just talking about it.
I'm glad
Because
you did.
Wasn't
I
there
really-
a Facebook post that Christy did that said, so what are you going to be doing this week? What is your intention for accomplishing this week?
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
that's
and
what
that was-
that's how I started, because my DMO, I put in there my daily method of operation. Then my daily method of operation became like pages and pages and pages. And I thought, this is like a really, really big to-do list, not a method of operation. So that
Right.
kind of like threw me off. I was like, oh my God, panic.
Yeah, that can definitely happen for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I don't know if it helped anybody, but thank you, because I feel better.
Well, I think that this is a journey, and we are all on the journey together. And anytime that we can brainstorm and help, it's a good thing, because I know for me, I was 6 months ago, I think I was so stuck on what I was doing. I didn't know if I was coming or going. And I really got that clarity about what my end goal was. And it was a 2-day process of, going back and back and back and back. And it really helped me. Obviously,
Yeah,
I don't think I
like
could
that.
ever teach it because I only got 2 questions and then didn't know where to go from there. It was certainly, yeah, it was
It helped
certainly
you with the
helpful.
time. Yeah, it helped you with the time. That's all I was looking for, I think. I was able to share because I'm not really good at sharing. I'm a helper. I love helping people like Marion does, only she's more technical, but like on a spiritual level or on a personal level, I help people a lot. I'm a good listener and I have solutions. At this particular moment with my technology, I mean, I know what the end goal is, and that does help. It definitely helps. And I know I can't learn everything overnight, all these things that are, I mean, it's like app crazy. We're just, instead of ape crazy, we're app crazy. And it's just so many great stuff out there and it's all good and it's all got a purpose. So it's just a matter of, you just have to focus on how you're going to get your particular end goal, accomplished with the, you don't need all those tools anyway for, this particular project. So what kind of tools should you focus on and that kind of thing? Ms.
I
Lauren.
would say, and it's a new thing that I'm starting today. It's not proven yet, but making a list as we're thinking of these things, get them on our list, then go back and prioritize one at a 10 or 20 or whatever. What's the most important? Like this one's a 1, this one's a 10, this one's a 5. So then you start about doing the most important in that order that will lead you to your goal.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
my new
This is
brainstorm.
kind of how I do that, Lauren. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but when I have a
we see
to-do
that.
list, okay, I highlight the ones that are the most important. I go through and just
Yes.
dump everything I need to do on my to-do list.
Yeah.
And then as Christy tells me what to do, I say, okay, that one, I have to highlight that one. Okay. Finish the book. Duh.
I would love for somebody to tell me what to do, except my husband.
Not necessarily where to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to throw something out if I could. Something that, just, the list that Marianne just held up, and like Gail, you were talking about your DMO that like became this monster with all the things. It was just too much. And we end up with this gigantic list of things that we can't even think of tackling. And that's even before the interruptions of life happen on any given day. And then we end up carrying garbage over to the next day, and we're so overwhelmed. It's like we hardly even want to get out of bed the next day. And so if we understand that we're limited as human beings, time is limited, interruptions will always happen, and there's only so much we can get done. How about if we just agree to ourselves that, the idea of the one thing or the idea of big 3, Gary Keller said, do the one thing that makes everything else less important or less relevant by knocking that one out, or doing the big 3. If you pick 3 big important things that are going to move the ball forward for you, and if you get them done by 11:30 a.m., your day is already a giant win. You could like bag it up and go to the beach because you did 3 things that are going to move the ball forward, in a significant way. And if you set your big 3 each day over your 5 days in the week, that's 15 really important things that you did to move your life forward, your business forward, your influence forward, whatever. I mean, and if you do a big 3 7 days a week, that's 21 things that are monumental that you did in that 1 week. And so many times we do the to-do list, we're overwhelmed, and we're like, well, I'm gonna, dust my file cabinet because that way I can check that off. Well, in the scheme of things, did that do a dang thing for your quality of life or anything else? I mean, so we tend to fritter our time on the stupid things so that we can check some things off. We never do move the ball forward on the things that really matter. So like, and especially if you can pick your big 3 the day before, then when you go to your office or whatever and hit the day, you already have a game plan. So you're not dithering first thing, you're diving right in. And it's a way of really, really getting some traction.
I like that.
So I just learned dither and fithering.
Frittering was the other one.
One of my favorite things to do is creating tomorrow's to-do list. I do it every single day. And if I don't finish something, it does go on the next. I don't typically prioritize, or I love the idea of the big 3, and I think I'm going to start utilizing that. If I could get 3 things done every day before the TNC, I think my life would change. I mean, really. So I love that. But one of the biggest things that has helped motivate me, because I don't have to wake up every morning like drinking my coffee thinking, what do I got to do, read my list? No, because I've been thinking about my day all day. So before I go to bed, I can just say, these are the things that I didn't get done, that I need to do, that I know need to be done tomorrow. And it has
that's
helped
all
me.
good. Yeah, because you're going to bed with that already. You're already got the end in mind when you go to bed. So you're already thinking about it as you're sleeping, and then you get up, and then your to-do list becomes your ta-da by 11 o'clock. So
Right.
your to-do list.
Ta-da.
So that's that.
Yeah. That was so great, Linda. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. And it is true. I mean, tomorrow it's almost already not wasted. I'm going to be with my mom. She's got like 2 appointments, her hearing appointment. She's 91. I got to take the wheelchair in, wheelchair out. It's like an exercise, I don't have to go to the gym. And then I got to get her manicure in the car, out the car. Then we go to lunch, in the car, out the car, the wheelchair. And I feel like my day is done. I mean, I'm toasted. So I don't even know if it's going to be a productive day tomorrow, but but I still have to make money, a little bit on the side, right? So,
Right.
So, I don't want to, what is it with my finances or my social security, my something, my grout, my day? What are you guys doing?
Drought proof your retirement.
Drought free my retirement, right?
That's right. That's right. We
So
got
back
to do
to
that.
back to the book.
All right. So we did get a couple questions, and this one is from Lauren, and I'm going to read it, and then I think I know what you're saying, but if I don't answer your question properly, you can tell me. It says, I heard that if we mask our affiliate link, we might not get credit for the signups. So there is something that I do know has happened in the past, and that is with Facebook Messenger. There are a lot of times that Facebook Messenger will garble up your affiliate link. And I've seen more times than not, if someone doesn't get credit for their sign up and I ask them, where did they put their link? They'll say Facebook Messenger. So it is definitely my opinion, my professional opinion, that if you do speak to somebody through Facebook Messenger, which we all do, that you then send your link to them in email, or you can send them through a capture page, which then they would put in their, they would go to the next page to get your affiliate sales page. So those are my 2 recommendations. Now, Lauren, is that what you meant, or did you have more thought behind that?
Yeah, that is primarily it. But I had also heard that someone was saying like they were using a bit.ly link instead of their affiliate link. And that's really what they were referring to, was if you use a bit.ly link or something else, it might cause you not to get credit.
I haven't experienced that. I haven't, I don't know. Jim is saying he's testing this.
Because I do a couple things
I'm
in
not
with the
testing it
Bitly
to
link.
your group, I'm testing it
through me.
for my own.
Oh, Jim just sent me something that he's testing for himself. Like I just said that we shouldn't do, we should make notes. So yeah, I have not heard of the Bitly. Now, Gail, you use Bitly quite a bit. Have you experienced anything like this that you know of? No?
No, I've never had a problem, and I test it all the time to make
Huh?
sure.
Who is asking?
Lauren
Lauren.
was asking if you mask.
What masking usually is something in your actual domain settings, not usually a shortener. So like your redirect is not usually considered a masking.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
I
used the
think the
wrong word.
words are, yeah.
When
Yeah.
you do that, it can not update correctly because what you're doing is you're hiding the link.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you go into HPA domains and you forward your domain, it'll ask you masking permanent, temporary.
Correct. And we always pick temporary.
Correct. Because if you mask it, you can mess up your affiliate links.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
It does look like if you use a redirect in Facebook, you still get that junk on the end of your stuff. So that may not help either.
Okay. And I think Christian, I'm not sure if it was oh yeah, it was Christian. Mike Cobb said to never mask anything, always redirect.
Redirect. Mhm.
So hopefully that
And-
helps. It
Thank
is a
you.
little bit-
The email thing was the best, right? Just use your email
Yeah.
as a communication tool.
That's what I do. I don't do a lot of sales like this, like we're talking with the Sam Cart link and all that. So it's a little bit of
I have a different viewpoint on what you guys are talking about. So if I'm going to put something on Facebook, I usually will send them to a page on my website that either has the links or it's a very specific sales page, because I learned early on that when you put your affiliate link places, people don't like it. The gods, like Facebook gods and those people, they don't like it. And so I learned early on never to do that. So I learned early that instead of trying to trick anybody or trying to get over on anybody or trying to shorten anything, I literally just send them to my website.
Good.
And it works.
Like
Now-
to your link page, sure.
Yeah, or a sales page. So
Mhm.
another thing that I find is very interesting is that, when you're talking to somebody on Messenger, it's the same basic principle. If you're having a private conversation with somebody and you send them a link that is your affiliate and it doesn't go anywhere, they're going to let you know. So, I mean, you can send your affiliate link, but it wouldn't be like, to just like a sales technique. You would be exchanging your link and they know where you're going. They know you're sending them to something.
Mhm.
Can I make a
Yeah.
comment too?
Yes.
In that same vein, on one of the TNCs semi recently, they mentioned, if you use a pretty link, which is basically what Marion was saying, mydomain.com/freedom or /gift or whatever it might be, that's a pretty link. Then it can redirect to your gobbledygook looking affiliate code, because those always look pretty crass. It's like somebody's trying to sell me something, look at that. But if it says /gift or whatever, that is a lot more like emotionally and visually appealing to look at. And then they also said one time recently in a TNC that if you'd use your pretty link in one of your emails, you're less likely to get sent to spam versus if you have the big ugly affiliate link right there in the body of the email.
Right.
Pretty good way to go to spam, because it
Yep.
looks very overtly salesy.
Yeah.
And spam.
Yeah.
I've
that's
been
for sure.
using the pretty link, well, whatever, the bit.ly for a long time, or tiny URL, or there's a lot of them, but I've
Well,
been
people know
using-
that you're hiding something because you can't, they have no idea where that's going. But if it's mydomain.com/whatever, that is you. That's your page. GailKendig.com, you know?
Yeah, and we
Very
do
good
have a
point.
training on that, how to do that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a page that's called that. It can be a redirect for a sales page that's already done in HBA. And if you all want more training on that, we'd be happy to do that again. I think that's really important because
Yeah.
it seems very technical and it's really not that bad, in my
That would be
opinion.
great. Yes.
It's good to know ahead of time.
Okay, so we'll do
Yeah.
a training on, we'll do another training because I know we did one already, right, Christy?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, here's the next question, and I don't think I can answer it either, but I'm gonna go for it, and we can maybe answer it as a group. It's from Lauren. Why does she always give us the tough ones?
Hi, Lauren. Thank you.
Hi.
Okay, since we have progressed so well with the technical strategies, could you share more about the key points, tools, and frequency for a successful online affiliate marketing success?
Sounds like another checklist.
It sounds like the secret grail.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Like the holy grail for
Yes.
marketing.
If I had to say what my key tools are for affiliate marketing success, I would say Canva, Get Response, HBA, and then any affiliate that I wanted to associate with. Anybody else have any top?
Is your
Tools.
question also, Lauren, like how many times do you post, or what kind of posts, or in relation to Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, all the other
YouTube.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube. Like, what's the priority list, or
Mhm.
what's the most popular, most successful, and what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, and it's not really just the most and exactly how many times, but is there kind of a pattern that you really want to do to tie them together so it will be harmonious with selling your course?
I don't know if that question could ever really be answered. I think
Oh,
every
no.
single social media platform has different recommendations and algorithms. I have heard, for example, people with TikTok post 10 times a day and they have 5 accounts and they are very successful. For me, I've
Okay.
heard that with Facebook, it can depend on how many members you have on your page or how many followers. Start with 3 to 5 times a day. Sometimes people only do it once a day. I think that this is my absolute most important or top tip I've ever learned is that you want to give 80% value and only spend 20% of the time with sales. So
Good.
if you're only
Yeah.
going to post once a day, take the percentages. If you're going to post 10 times a day, take those percentages. But you always want to be giving so much more value than you give. And I think that the best thing to do is research. Everybody has a different industry. Everybody's on a different platform. Everybody has different amounts of followers. And I think all of that is pretty much the secret sauce to being successful and being viral, which is, I think the ultimate question that we're talking about. But I don't know. I'm certainly not a social media expert. I truly believe that if you teach, if you entertain, if you show that you're a human being, if you sales, if you do these steps like the Really formula that Mike and Paul have talked about, it's education, lifestyle, relationship.
I think it's relationships.
What's ours?
It's a good one to review
It's a
again.
great one to review. And it it really makes a lot of sense. And that's what I stick to. I can't say that I remember what the
Results.
Oh, results. Oh, yes, results. So,
Okay.
that is something you don't have to use your results. You can say, my team did XYZ. And again, it depends on what your goal is. When I'm selling a baking course, I don't need to talk about how many sales Marion got. So I guess that's a thing, is you're talking about affiliate marketing, and there are so many ways to give value. You can either give value to the people that you're trying to sell to, or you can give value to people that you want to refer to HBA. So
I
there's a lot
have
of
a-
different aspects.
I have a very,
I'd like to add one.
Jim wants to add when he gets a chance, when he has a chance.
okay, this will be quick, and I think everyone should get your notepad out, because this is something that Christy and I just found out. So we weren't getting many people, responding to our social media. On Facebook, we have a group that we went from almost 2,000 people, and it was pretty dead. I just hadn't been paying much attention to it. And all of a sudden I said, Christy, I'm over here on this other place, and they are just asking questions. It's not a graphic or anything. They're just putting questions up there, like, who wants the formula for blah, 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 or whatever it is that you're doing. And so Christy and I started doing that. Now, we took some time off because her mom's in the hospital and I'm traveling, but I'm telling you, we had it going on in the 4 days that we tried that. Maybe it was a full week we did it, but I couldn't believe it. We had, I don't even know how many people were commenting.
Can
It
I
was
add
amazing.
something to that?
Yeah. Hi, Ricky.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I just did a talk for it's a Houston Holistic Health Circle, Healthcare Circle. And what I did for 30 minutes was ask questions. And I got responses from people who I didn't know. There were about 20 something people on the call. And I simply asked some questions.
Yep.
What would they like? What do you think about this? It was all about I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Cooking.
I just got through cooking
About
for hours.
Cooking.
And it was questions that pertain to what I was talking about. And I mean, I got answers from people, and they participated, which really made me feel
Participation.
good.
Yeah.
And of course, I answered the questions as well, responding to them. But I think you're right. I think people will respond to questions.
I have another thing too, along with the questions, because already Marion said that the questions are working, asking questions, and Ricky's giving evidence that it's working too, because she got interaction. And I think I've mentioned this before, both Facebook and YouTube, and I'm only on my 52nd day of the Good Parts Challenge, but Facebook and YouTube have both acknowledged me numerous times, telling me congratulations for my consistency. And then even YouTube just yesterday said that they asked me if I would mind giving them feedback on something. I'm thinking, me? Well, no, they're not talking to me. So I kind of ignored it a little bit. But I mean, it's getting attention. The consistency is very important. The consistency. I noticed that, because why are they asking Gail kind of, I don't know, they're just, it must be, I have a few thousand people on my Facebook, but so I think that that's a big thing. And I think that I'm so excited about the challenge, like we all are. I love doing it. And I try hard not to sell. I put all my sales stuff in the details, and I might mention one thing or two, but I try very hard to help people, make them feel good. I just don't want to sell. I'm really, again, I don't want them to say, oh, there it is. That's what she wants to do. She wants me to join her program. So I put everything, I might do a little tip like, oh, about HBA or something, but just like, oh, whatever, just little random thought on my business side of stuff, but it's never ever going to feel like a sales thing for me. That anyway, my good parts. So
Okay,
That's
actually,
it.
my talk was about food as medicine. And
Ah.
so they asked me, well, what do you mean? And so I asked
Yeah.
questions, and that food can change your mood. Food can make you feel lousy. It can make you feel wonderful. Depends on what food works with your body. And it was, things like that. But I asked a bunch of questions, and it worked.
I think
Well,
we
that's
did
what
accomplish the
Marion-
Holy Grail.
But look at what Marion, this whole thing started when Marion was interviewed by that crazy lady. So, I mean, all she did was answer questions, and she was a hit. She was a big hit. She knew what she was talking about, and she answered questions. She thought, like, this is a miracle. Like, this was so easy because I knew the answers. People asked me questions. I helped them, and it started her whole, like, this whole thing. And it was all about questions.
I think I'm
That's
going to
pretty
start
cool.
posting more questions.
Yeah.
Heck
Jim,
yeah.
So
we can't wait to hear from you, Jim.
All right,
one of the questions that I've learned that should be asked, instead of asking for feedback, ask for advice, because people like to give their advice.
Yep.
And feedback they don't really care about so much. Like Gail said, YouTube is asking her for her feedback, and yeah, that's great, right? But if they would ask for her advice, how could Gail make this better? Maybe that would be different. It tends to include people, so they feel like maybe they'll get something out of it. I wasn't going to bring that up before that, but that was thought of because of that. What I was going to bring up though is an often overlooked resource in HBA is the escape plan and the Freedom Launchpad. The Freedom Launchpad is almost 100% geared toward affiliate marketing. So it's got resources in there about how to write emails. It's got resources in there about how to set up different capture pages. It's got resources about how to find different marketing platforms for different affiliate networks. I mean, it's got
that's
pretty
all of
much
the $25, Jim.
it's all included. The Freedom Launchpad is included with the all-in-one business, or it's included with the premium product. So either way you sell it, your people that are coming in get it for free. If you decide to sell Freedom Launchpad instead as a first item, in the training, you can request 2 weeks free of Funnel Builder. So you get free Funnel Builder if you sell it in reverse. Does that make sense?
Say that again?
Yeah, but
because you
no, it confused me. But if I do sell the 25 and I talk about the Freedom Launchpad, that's a win-win anyway. Okay.
Correct. They will have it, right? But the Freedom Launchpad, being an affiliate product, is a standalone product that sells for $27.95, right? One time.
I didn't know that.
Some people are a
Did
lot
not know
more,
that.
some people are a lot more apt to spend $27.95 one time versus $25 a month when they don't really know who you are so much. And it's a whole different market because you can sell it as an affiliate marketing training series, right?
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
Inside of, and that's what I said, it's a very often overlooked product of HBA. It's a great product. It's stuffed full of value. And if you sell it for the $27.95, like I said, they can request to get, it's either 2 weeks or maybe even 4 weeks free of Funnel Builder. So it's not like,
wow.
I kind of thought at first you were kind of like, I don't know how else to say this, but kind of like screwing them because they could have got it free if they went through the all-in-one, but they're still kind of getting it free because they're getting the Funnel Builder free instead of the Freedom Launchpad free, if that makes sense. So all that being said, having the 3 different products, the premium, the Funnel Builder, 4 really, if you think about it, you can sell the premium separate, the Funnel Builder separate, and the Freedom Launchpad separate, or you can sell the all-in-one business, which is the funnel builder and the Freedom Launchpad, and then explain that they get the free 2 weeks of the premium also. So when you're talking about affiliate marketing, that's just on HBA. But then you get in there to the Freedom Launchpad, and it talks about, I mean, what did we go through? 400 different companies that do affiliate products. I mean, there's tons of them in there, with links to them and everything. So
Oh yeah, you have
Wow.
that list, right?
yeah, there's a huge list in there, and then there's a huge list of all kinds of different resources in there. So it's very overlooked, and I think it's a great resource that we have. And like I said, it can be one of your products that you sell also. There's a funnel for it and everything all set up.
I was going to ask about that. I was going to say, I remember seeing a funnel for that,
Yeah.
for the $27.
Freedom
I was wondering where it was. Okay, that makes sense.
And then the one other
Wow.
thing I wanted to say is, one of the things that I learned in that process actually is there's really only 3 ways to build a business. And that is, you grow your audience, and then you engage your audience, and then you sell to your audience.
Mhm.
And it really doesn't matter what business it is. You look at Taylor Swift, she's growing her audience, she's engaging her audience, and she's selling to her audience. You look at anybody in any business, that's all they're doing. They're just growing, engaging, and selling. Growing, engaging, and selling. Now, like Christy said, there is a little difference. Like her bakers, they don't want to get an email a day from you, right? And when she first said that, I'm like, you're crazy. Just email them. Who cares? But they don't have time for that. They want an email a week or so. You know, Russell Brunson said in affiliate marketing, if you want to make more money, he said he first started emailing his list once a month. And he said, I made this amount of money. And then I started emailing my list twice a month and I made twice as much money. He said, that's crazy, right? And then he said, eventually it got to where he emails them every day or sometimes several times a day. And every time he makes more money. Now we're talking about Russell Brunson. I mean, he's not just emailing them stuff, you know, he's
Right.
emailing them real value. But if you continually give value, like Christy said, the more value you're giving, they'll actually start looking for your emails, you know? So
Right.
your open rates will go up. Christy's open rates to her bakers is like 80%. I mean, it's ridiculously high because they know that when she does email, it's for a reason. It's not just here, buy my stuff, you know? So, and like
Learn
Christy said,
something.
there's out of all of that, you could go a billion different directions with everything else. One more last thing is, remember that every time you post on anything, the next time you post, you're also competing with yourself. So sometimes I'll see people that will post like every hour, right? So if you're posting every hour, well, you're actually knocking off your post that you posted last hour because it can't get as much traction as this one does because the algorithm is set up. I don't know who all was here when we left and went to MeWe from Facebook for a little while. Anybody? Okay. We went to this platform called MeWe because MeWe didn't have an algorithm. It just showed you every single post that was ever posted. And I was like, guys, that can't work because once you get 1,000 friends on your list, if they post once a day, you have 1,000 posts to go through before you get to tomorrow.
That's
So the
impossible.
algorithm is actually in your favor. You just have to learn how to manipulate it. And you got to learn it for every platform. Unfortunately, it's different for every platform. You know, like Gail said, they're telling her, hey, we love your consistency. We want to show your stuff more often. Stay consistent, stay consistent. But if you start posting every 30 minutes, I mean, some people will share stuff like I've seen people share. I mean, none of their stuff is going to get anything because how could it possibly, you know? So just things, little things like that to keep in mind. Hopefully, all of that made a lot of sense and will help you out.
It was amazing, Jim. That was so
Very
really
good
amazing.
advice.
Thank you, Jim. I've got a question about that, especially with get response. where you can schedule at certain times. And I know, Christy, you made me realize there was something there that says the ideal times.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. And that is with the premium, though. You have to get the premium one for get response. But have you found that really has been really beneficial rather than just sending out a timed email that you set up, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, twice a week or whatever it would be?
What do you want to say?
And ice cream does make you happier for at least a little while till you come down from it.
Ice cream. I will tell you that in my industry, which I think you and I have pretty similar industries, that yes, if you know when you, especially in this world of spam, because you get 100 emails a day, and if you go through and let's say you open your emails every day before you go to work, and Get Response knows that you're going to open your email at 8 o'clock. Well, at 7:55, they're going to send that email. Now, some people may go all the way to 5 a.m. and go down each one, but a lot of people, they open up their email and whatever's first is first, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
So I think that it is dependent on your needs. If you need to get something out right now, obviously you need to do right now. But if you are able to pre-plan, I believe that perfect timing is best. That's my very unresearched but used theory. Thank you.
Something else that I noticed on Facebook, I don't know if it's on other platforms, but when I post something or Christy posts something on our Facebook page, or our group, not our page, our group, and then somebody says something that was 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and they make a comment, it seems to pop back up to the top. So that might be another reason why the asking a question is helping, because people are seeing that and they're making a comment and it's popping it back up to the top. Doesn't necessarily leave
Facebook
it.
does that?
I have noticed that.
I'll have to
Anybody
take
else?
better notice of it. Yeah.
Anybody else notice that?
I did notice that.
Yeah,
I want to go back to Lauren. She's starting to launch her new book. I would suggest to create the book cover you love,
Yeah.
and another one, any other design, and ask for their help of their what if they like,
That's a
which
good
one they
idea.
like,
Yeah.
which one they like, before you even go to print, because it's going to get that audience waiting for it, looking for it, and they
Yeah.
feel like added to their opinion.
Good idea.
And
Thank you, Gail.
That's a very good
It's
idea.
a good
Now,
idea.
Lauren's
did-
audience is women, especially women that are coming out of corporate America. And, I think that's a fantastic idea, Gail.
I did it myself for my book, and it worked really great. It really
that's
did.
good.
You get a lot of buy-in that way because they participated.
Oh, they're
Yep.
so excited for you, and they're waiting. And I mean, I had some Guido Sarducci little man. He looked so goofy, and he had money bags or something. Oh, that is so stupid. I said, I'm going to put that one up. And then the one that I, already knew I was going to use. But it was fun to get the response and everything. And I got quite a good response. And about, I would say 10 people actually bought it and read it and gave me great reviews at the time, which was many years ago. But so yeah, just anyway, a little tip.
Thank you.
Now, Marion, the one thing that you were talking about as far as it popping them back up to the top. Now, this could possibly, I think I've seen it happen before, where somebody might have shown a wedding picture or something like that 2 years ago, and then somebody responds on it. They like the picture or something like that. It could, like I said, it could have been 2 years ago, and then it pops back up to the top, and people start replying to it. Then a person responds back and says, well, yeah, that was 2 years ago. We're divorced now. So it's something
Oh
like
my
that.
God. Absolutely. Absolutely. Something that if we have time, while we're on the thought process of social media and this stuff, I don't know if everyone has heard about the new Threads or if anybody has tried it. or if anybody has any questions. I have not tried it and I don't know any answers, but I have a very influential person that I'm friends with, and she posted a very small snippet from her perspective. So I thought I would read it to you if you guys are interested. And then if anybody does have any thoughts or knowledge or whatever, again, I don't really want to learn something new, but this is what she posted. This is the week to try the new app Threads. What is Threads? Threads is Meta's alternative to Twitter. It's connected to Instagram, so you use your Instagram account to sign in. Why is it important to sign up this week? When you create a new Threads account, it prompts you to follow everyone on Threads that you follow on Instagram. If someone signs up for Threads that follows you on Instagram and you aren't on Threads yet, they won't be prompted to follow you. Then whenever you eventually sign up, they will have to manually find you to follow you. It will no longer be an automatic process. Even if you don't plan to use the app at all, if you have any kind of following on Instagram, you should sign up ASAP. Why use Threads? At least for right now, you can easily interact and make a name for yourself on the app without having to use any photos or videos. You can still include them, but you don't have to. I know that we are all tired of having to make perfect looking videos and posts all of the time. I think you'll find interacting on Threads to be much easier and less time consuming than Instagram. Well, maybe not less time consuming if you get sucked into reading everything. So this particular industry leader is primarily on Instagram. So I think that's why it definitely appeals to her. So then she says, then she gives us a challenge to install the Threads app and claim your account. Post a minimum of 3 times this week. And then she says, after this week, go ahead and stop if you hate it. And then respond to people and find and follow each other. And then somebody said that they got on it. It was quickly overwhelming with random junk that I could care less about. And then she said, I think it's like any social media page. You need to curate a list of people who you are interested in and want to follow so that the algorithm will show you what you want to see. You don't have to use it now if it feels like one more thing, but it's good that you got on and claimed a spot. Even if you just have 1 or 2 posts that talk about how people can, and then the industry, it's good to be there if anyone looks. And then another person that says, I don't think I'll be jumping on this ship. Then she says, but to play devil's advocate, if you think you might ever want to, now is the time to sign up. And this person said she's been on Threads for 2 days. I do find it quite interesting, and I feel like I can just be laid back. So that's all that I have on that. Has anybody used it, thought about it, had anything? Yes, Marion.
I did the day that it came up, I joined, and within probably an hour I had 95 people following me. And most of them
What
were.
did you use?
What did I use? Threads.
Yeah, what did you put on?
Nothing. I just it automatically lets you use your Instagram profile.
Oh,
So
okay.
I just connected my Instagram and boom, 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 95 people. So I haven't really done anything on it yet.
Is
but,
it, you spell it? THREADS?
Yes.
.com?
No,
No,
you claimed your
it's
spot.
an app.
You claimed your spot.
I
So,
did.
There you go.
It's an app. It's not a .com. So you just download the app. Now you don't have an iPhone, so I'm not really sure how you do that. I know you have an Android, so you have some kind of an app store,
Yep,
don't you?
sure.
Okay, you should be
Yeah,
able to
that's
find it. And it'll ask you when you sign up, it'll ask you for your Instagram. And it was so easy. I've never had anything that easy. Like within seconds, I was connected. Are you eating ice cream, Christy?
Yes. God, Jim, bring it.
No
That's-
fair.
No
If you
fair. Look at
share.
Rita Joy. She's getting a massage. That's not fair.
What?
This has become quite the call. If only
Okay,
we were in the same room.
I just put in threads and it says no apps found matching threads. THREADS.
You've already spent too much time on it. No, just kidding.
I don't
Nope.
know what to tell you.
Well, it's on my
Technology's
phone.
up.
Maybe it's just on the computer.
No, it's on the phone.
Is
It's
it?
on the phone. Mhm.
Hmm.
All right, Marion.
So you have a
You have to entertain us for the next 23 minutes.
Okay.
I'm out of words.
Okay.
That's because you're eating ice cream. You're sidetracked.
It makes everything better.
You
That's
got brain
funny.
freeze. Brain freeze, Christy.
That's
I
funny.
got something real quick, if that's okay.
Yes, please, James.
Yeah, when we were talking about asking questions, it's so interesting. Going out and asking questions. So I'm always trying to figure out how to really engage. I mean, because I'll post something I mainly use Facebook most of the time, and I'll post something inspirational or something like that on Facebook. And that's kind of all what I'll really do. But as far as engaging, I probably need to engage more. So I ended up actually finding a book called If, and it has it's If Questions for the Game of Life is the actual title by Evelyn McFarland and James Saywell. And in there it just has just random questions like, for instance, if you had to be homeless for 1 year, where would you want to be? So
Oh,
ask different questions like that. Or if
Hawaii.
you were there you go. That's a good spot.
On the beach.
The other one is if you were to drown in liquid other than water, what would you want it to be? Just different questions, just random, but just
Alcohol.
thought-provoking questions. So I was just wondering about that. Is that something as far as engaging
Of
to
course.
try
I
to
love
just
it.
go out there?
Yeah,
Just
I
to go
love
out
tricky
there?
it.
questions.
There's lots of good
Yeah.
books like that at the $5 store with Five Below. I bought one for 2,000 questions. I'm so random, and they're all very unique. And it's a great idea because I'll use my book. But if you don't have one, go get them. They're so cheap, and probably you can ask one of the AI guys.
Yeah.
And a starting list so you're not overwhelmed, but just do 30 for the 30 days of the month and then do another 30 or something. But I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I got
Yeah,
threads.
look to do that.
It says
Oh,
threads
you got
meta
that?
popular.
Oh,
Says
of
what?
course.
Threads meta. I went into Instagram and looked for threads. It's on here.
Yeah, it's owned by
Awesome.
Meta.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
That's why it says it's popular.
Twitter
Now
killer.
there's even a lawsuit on here.
It's
Oh,
supposed
Oh
to be,
yes.
Twitter
We're gonna ignore that though.
is supposed to be, I don't know, that's
It
somebody.
says you can't delete your Threads account without deleting your Instagram profile.
I
That's
did
it.
hear that too. I
Yeah.
did hear that too.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
I didn't know that. So it locks you in then.
Yeah.
You have
I
to delete
think
that
I'll
app
get
if you don't.
Instagram.
Too late. Well, I
Oh.
have tons of things that are going through my mind. Every time we have our 8 o'clock call, there's like 18 different things that I want to remember. They read from a book, they have their personal experience they talk about, and then people start replying. And every time I have like a page filled with stuff that I want to remember or think about or do
Yeah.
later. And then we have our TNC, which is traffic and conversions for those of you who are premium. We have those that happen every single day. And then we have these, which are twice a week. And questions that are coming in and thoughts. I know that it's easy to get lost. Okay. So I would recommend that no matter what you do, that you talk about and create a plan, just like Gail was talking about today. Create your own plan. What are your goals? If you need to do it right here in our group, we'd be happy to do that for you. We'd happy to do it with you, okay? Because if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. Or maybe you will, but you won't even know that you got there because you didn't know it was a goal. I mean, you have to have some type of plan. And it can be a weekly plan, it can be a monthly plan, it can be a lifetime plan. I'm going to tell you guys a story, and I really hope that you get the message that I want you to get. I was going through a pretty big life change, and I knew I needed to make a decision. And there's a place called the Margaret Austin Center, which is out in the middle of nowhere here in Texas. And it's a place where you can go, and there's yoga retreats, and there's all these people from all over the country that come to do retreats of some sort, mostly yoga. So I volunteered there. As a volunteer, you got to experience everything. You got to experience the people, you got to experience the places, the food, all kinds of things. So I volunteered for the weekend, and what I would do is help people with a flashlight because there was no lights out there, okay? It's like a place where you go to relax and rejuvenate. So I would meet them at the car with a flashlight and help them to their room and things like that. Well, one of the things they had was a labyrinth. So they taught a class, and I have never forgotten this class. As a matter of fact, I plan on doing it again. It's a class that you use the labyrinth for answering questions for yourself. So my question was, what do I do now? No, I'm sorry. The first time I did it, should I leave this person? Okay, I wanted to know, should I break up with this person? And it was a pretty significant relationship. And so this is the process. You come up to the labyrinth, you close your eyes, and you ask the question in a way that you know you're going to get the answer at the end of the labyrinth. So you ask the question sincerely, knowing you're going to get the answer, open your eyes, and you walk the labyrinth, and you don't think about it. You don't try to steer it in any direction. You just walk the labyrinth and enjoy it. And when you get to the end of the labyrinth and you're getting ready to step outside, you close your eyes again and you say, okay, I'm ready for my answer. And I swear to you, it was my own voice. I didn't hear a man's voice or anything booming, or it was really me, but I heard the answer, not now. I heard it. And I was like, oh, okay. It was so profound that I said, okay, not now. And it worked out in my benefit that I did end up leaving this person, but it wasn't at that particular time. And it made me feel so good. Now, you may say, oh, well, Marian, you just made that up in your head. But it was so profound for me that I decided to do it again. The next time I did it, I had no idea where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. It was not about leaving anybody or going with somebody. It was about me and what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do now? What's my next step? And I really was frustrated and upset and thinking, oh, the labyrinth. So there's one in Houston. It's at a university. It was really nice. It was marble and it was beautiful. So I go to this and I close my eyes and I said, okay, what's my next step? What should I do now? What direction should I move forward? I really need to know the answer to that. I'm sure I was a little more clear about my question, but anyway, I walked the labyrinth. It was beautiful, beautiful day. I came to the end. I opened up my eyes and I closed my eyes and I said, okay, I'm ready for the answer. And once again, I heard it so clear that I will never forget it. It's embedded. Stay on the path of what feels good. That's what I heard. Stay on the path of what feels good. And I thought, oh, okay, I can do that. So everybody, people say, Marian, you're always so happy. You're always so bubbly. And, what's the deal? I just stay on the path of what feels good. If I don't think it feels good, I'm gonna go over here instead. Sorry, bye everybody. That's not making me feel good. So it has helped me tremendously. So if that's something that you think you might want to try, a labyrinth, and they have them online too. If you can't find one, yes, yes, Ricky.
Isn't there one down at one of the universities here that you can walk? It's next to the, I want to say.
That's where I went.
The
Mhm.
chapel, there's a chapel next to it.
There was
Um,
that's, yeah, there's
Is that the
one.
one?
Yeah, I went to the one in St. Matthew's or St. Martin's or something like that in
I
Houston.
don't remember. No, it was like, what, I want to say it's the one that has artwork that's kind of really way strange.
They do
and
have
you
one
walk-
that's
it's a-
attached to churches. They have them all over.
Yeah.
They have them online. If it's something that you think you might want to try,
Yeah,
I would highly recommend it,
okay.
knowing
Where
that
was
you're
the
going to get the
one
answer.
that was in the middle of nowhere? Like a
Margaret
retreat?
Austin Center.
Margaret Austin Center?
Yep. Yep. But I know that your town or in something near you has it. I'm sure in Dallas they have them. I'm sure wherever you
Yeah.
guys live, you have them. They're pretty popular if you just look it up online. Has anybody else ever experienced a labyrinth?
I
No.
never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I'm trying to think. Rothko Chapel. It's near the Rothko Chapel.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And I'm trying
How
to
do you
remember, it's
spell it?
downtown.
Labyrinth? Oh boy. Somebody that
Uh,
knows how to spell. Come up with that.
I just wrote Labyrintth.
There you go.
Yeah, and
That's-
it'll do a spell correct for you.
yeah. Whatever
L-
way you can get direction for yourself, I highly recommend that you do that, whether it's a
Yep.
labyrinth or you hire a coach or you hire you go to counseling. It really doesn't matter what you use, but I would recommend that you do it for your business, for what you want to accomplish. If you can't, think to yourself, well, what is my end goal? If you don't know, or you think you don't know, I think you can find out by searching inside.
I think
Who
that's a
was
great
it?
idea.
Who was it that talked to me? It was my higher self, wasn't it?
You.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
I'm on the same wavelength because I think I've mentioned on the Grow Rich call that I started reading The Purpose Driven Life, which I have had in my possession for 20 years. At the time when it came out, it was getting a lot of flack from priests, ministers, whoever, everybody coming out of the woodwork saying that, this is not biblical and all this other stuff. It's called The Purpose Driven Life, and it's Rick Warren wrote it.
Mhm.
And they were just attacking the poor guy. And, I've always, because of my interactions with humans, so many since I would say before 1988, but officially 1988, I guess, in my brain, because that's when I started working at the dating service and matching people and getting to know people. And then I went into recruiting. It doesn't matter the ages or timeline, but people have been my business. So I know people very well just in quickly being with them. And 99.9 people are struggling with their purpose.
Yeah.
What is my
Mhm.
purpose? What is my purpose? I don't know what I'm here for. So when I started reading that book for this original time, I'm like, I'm just going to get that book. I'm talking about purpose all the time. And here I got a book that, purpose driven life. What is it all about? What's it going to tell me? And I really just was blown away with the mere fact that if you are in connection with the creator who you feel you got here by whoever that is, that if you're in alignment with the purpose you believe that you were sent for, and to help people in the way only you can help them, nobody else has your fingerprints, nobody in the galaxy, in the universe is going to be like you. And that just helped me so much, pinpoint what I should be doing. And it also helps you, really answer your own question, my own question from the beginning of our, show here, our show, everything else is not in alignment, you just disregard for now. If it's not in alignment with your purpose and with the reason that you want to make an impact on the world, because that's your assignment for this world, then it's really, it's not necessary right now anyway. You need to stay focused. So I'm answering my own question for the most part. You know, just stay focused on what you are, you know, they say the ministry is when you give to your church. Like Christy just went, you know, and helped with the kids. And I've done many years helping at children's camp. And then you have the mission, which is to the world, because they don't have what you have. You have this piece. You know what you're here for. You know what your assignment is. They want a piece of you. Like, how can you be like that, Ricky? How did you find out? How did you know that you wanted to help people get healthy? You know, what was, and so it's a story. It's an experience that now you have that you can share. Most important thing in our life is the experiences, good, bad, or ugly, are what we need to share with other people, because we're helping other people with, because we're sharing that. So to me, I agree with what, I've never heard of a Lamberth, but I understand the idea. I think it's the same idea. Once you are connected to your creator, you can get the answer to why you're here. I mean, who, what, when, where, why, and how are the famous questions that you can start every day with, or your whole life with. Who? Your creator. Everything else, everything goes right back to the who. Anyway,
Yeah.
just my
I associate back with the labyrinth that Marion brought up, because my interpretation, it is definitely connecting with your higher power, your higher self, but it's really bringing yourself to a quiet place where you don't already know the answer. You're not distracting yourself with what, oh, I ought to do this, I ought to do that, I ought to do this. Just wipe it out, start with a clean slate, and proceed in faith, in that walk of faith, that you're going to receive the answer. And it's really forcing yourself to have that quiet time that you're not allowing thought interruptions. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I-
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Just having that quiet time, because like I said, our minds are always racing. If we can slow it down and just hear the voice, like what Marion was saying, and all of us were saying, that's tremendous. We're able to do that.
Yeah, I want to mention that too. You know, about this, just listening and being guided. I find that so important, because we're not in charge of keeping our heart beating. We don't command the sun to come out. There's so many things we just can't grasp. And anytime we try to control what's going on, it creates stress, in my opinion. So, you know, just getting back to what we have been talking about, we never left it. However, I just want to share that, you know, what I try to do is, when I get up, is meditate first thing, because the weight of the world can be on my shoulders, and it can be so intimidating sometimes. It's like, why do I even want to get out of bed? It's so comfortable here right now at 6 in the morning, the alarm's going off, but I just started sleeping good, and now I know when I get up, I have responsibility. So sometimes that can be difficult. However, the first thing for me is to meditate. We try to get walks in and exercise as much as possible. And then from there, put out any fires, anything that's immediate, anything that's pressing, whatever that may be in your life. Our mentor that we follow always says, take care of the emergencies first, whatever is knocking at that door first. For Christy, it was her mother. She needed to go take care of that. So whatever it is in our life, let's take care of that. And then for me, after that, I look at what money is on the table that's not in my bank account yet. What invoice do I need to send? Or what call do I need to make to set up a gig for music? Or, you know, what do I need to do just to get this in my business in motion so that it does turn monetary? And then outside of that, it's all about being led. You know, I'm glad that I just kind of let it go and let the universe and the creator tell me what to do. And I find that so much more exciting, so much more fun. The stress isn't there, because that voice talks to me as long as I don't tune it out. If I keep ignoring it, it's going to dim out, maybe even go away. But one of the things I ask,
over the head.
Yes. One of the things that I really asked about, especially after I got through my situation in Las Vegas and fighting the courts with that when they were trying to take my freedom, is that I don't ever want the universe to stop talking to me, because the universe told me everything I needed to do and it got me out of that situation. And that inner voice, we all have it. So it's so important to tune into that. When that inner voice is telling us something, it's good to listen because it's leading us where we want to go. That's good and the best situation for us. So
Yeah.
hope that
Christian, though, but
That's
Christian, you
beautiful.
already are one step ahead of a lot of people because you already know, you have figured out what your mission is and why you're here on this earth. And so that's very fortunate. There's very few people that know what their mission is in the whole scheme of things, you know. I mean, this group is great because we are concentrated. I think most of us here have figured it out why we're here, and you know, helping each other, and you know, just being our community in itself, our purpose driven. So that's what's good about our community. So I mean, I think it's fabulous that you guys have such an impact. Anybody who's, you know, really living their purpose is going to have an impact on the world in any way, shape, or form. So that's what's also great about being all together. So go ahead, Rita Joy.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to add what you said. Most people are living without a purpose, and this audio book that we just listened to, that was on the Grow Rich suggested, the extra book of the month was Outwitting the Devil, and that's what he talks about is when Napoleon Hill asked the devil, how do you get control of so many people? He said, most people are just drifting, like without a purpose. They're just drifting through their days. And he said,
The ocean. Yep.
yeah, it's easy to then they're mine if I can get them drifting. But if the few percent that, you know, lock on to their purpose and they're not, they're focused and they're moving towards their goal, then the devil can't get to them. So that's another reason to find your purpose and then spend your energy towards, you know, your goal. You're in, like, what did Christy ask you, Gail? Like, what's your end zone?
Yeah,
What's your, yeah.
End
Where-
zone.
And I
Yes.
think that ties back to what Marion said too, is if you don't know where you're going, how will you know if you get there?
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
the same thing because you don't have anything
Start with
firm
the
to
end
hold
in
on
mind.
to anchor with.
Yeah. The
Start
end
with
in
the end in
mind.
mind is also biblical too. That's also in scripture. But yeah, I mean, this is fantastic, you guys. So
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Cool.
I know we only have a few seconds left, and I want to spend a few seconds saying thank you to Rita Joy and Minister Christian for
Yeah.
doing the happy birthday,
oh,
sing-a-thon or whatever you call it.
Singing telegram.
Singing
great.
telegram. That's right.
Serenade.
Yeah, it was
I
awesome.
actually, I saw the one that you did for Christy's sister, and
Yeah. Great.
and just watching the tears that came from both her
gosh.
sister and from Becky, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you. It was beautiful.
And then when we watched her, we were crying. I said, we need to do a reaction video of us watching the reaction because then we'll have because they're, oh shoot. I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. I punched the wrong button. Are we still okay? Because
there you are.
they were holding the phone with us on the phone, and I said, we're in the palm of her hand. She had us in the palm of her hand singing to her. It was so mystic. We just love it, and thank y'all for encouraging us and following through with what you believed in, that we could do it. And you can't imagine, I mean, it you know, it's hard for us to put a price on it and ask for money and turn it into a business, but it's priceless what we do, because I mean, we just spent hours and we thought of everything we could possibly do to make it better for both Marion and Christy. And so thank you for appreciating it.
yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
It was
And
great.
Priceless is the word.
when I
Ice
get
cream.
back from no, this is soup. This is my dinner. Because I have a baking class in just a few minutes. But when I get back from vacation, I plan to do some type of video testimonial that will kind of like show what you guys did, then show my sister's reaction, then show what you did, and show, because
That'd
you
be
just
great.
can't explain it in words.
Hey, Christy, did you know that Lean on Me was her high school graduation song?
I didn't know. I mean, if I knew, it was a long time
Subliminal.
ago, but
Wow,
yeah,
That's
that
subliminal,
was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
cute.
yeah, it was really good. It really was.
All right, everybody give me a thumbs up and a smile.
Yes.